Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome back to math class. Today we are going to we're going to finish our second day on Unit 8, Lesson 23 on pyramids and prisms. And I have a special helper today. You can see her or not, but my cat Raya will not leave me alone, so she might distract us a little bit, but she's been yowling, so it's a lot quieter with her on my lap. Okay, so as you learned yesterday, prisms have the same base as they do the top, and they're named by their base. So this prism has 6 sides, so it's hexagonal. Hexagon is 6, remember? And you just add the AL on it. Okay, now yesterday in the video they said hexagonal based prisms. You don't have to have the word based in your answer. Okay, now notice the sides on the prism are all shaped like rectangles. So you've got a hexagon on the bottom, you got a hexagon on the top, same size, and then the sides are all rectangles that are all the same side. Okay, this one, square here, square on the other side, and then the sides are rectangles. So you've got the same on the bottom and the top, and rectangles on the side, so it's a prism. Now, some people might call it a square prism. Most people will call it a rectangular prism. Either one would be okay. This one truly is a square prism, but most people call it a cube. All right, let's take a look at some other ones. This one is a tricky one. So I'm going to hold this a little close. Take a look at this. Let me spin it back the other way. It's one of those I can take apart and make a net out of it. But so on the top and the bottom, it's both a triangle. So it's not a pyramid because the bottom and the top are the same. Okay, and the sides, rectangles, or you could call them parallelograms if you wanted also. Okay, rectangle sides, same bottom, same top. So it's a prism, and it's named by the base, the thing that you have 2 of. So you have 2 of those triangles. So it's a triangular prism. Okay, it gets a little confusing in this one because there's triangles and there's rectangles, but you have to think if doesn't come to a point, it's a prism. If the sides are rectangles, it's a prism. And you look for the things that you have 2 of. You have 2 triangles. Okay? All right. We have not talked about this one yet. Comes to one point. There is a square on the bottom, and it comes to a point up at the top. So it is a square pyramid. And look at the sides. The sides are triangles. Sides are triangles. Comes to a point, it's going to be a pyramid. All right, this is another one that's a little tricky. So I'm going to show you the bottom. I'm going to show you the bottom of it, like that. Okay, that's the bottom. There's the top. So bottom, triangle, top, triangle. But look at the sides. The sides are a triangle. So you know if it comes to one point, it's got to be a pyramid. And you know if the sides are sides are triangles, it's got to be a pyramid. But look at the bottom. The bottom is a triangle. So it's a triangular pyramid. Triangle pyramid, triangular pyramid. All right, I think that's all the shapes I have for you today. We're going to switch over to our textbooks now. So grab your textbook and open to page 414. Now we're on page 414, and I know we've skipped a couple pages. That's okay, and we're going to skip a couple pages near the end of this lesson and come back to it next week. So they're asking us to name the shape of the base and use it to name the prism. So sometimes it's kind of hard when you're looking at a 3-dimensional figure to figure out what the base is because you've got all those different sizes. Remember, especially if it's a prism, it's going to have 2 of them. The base and then the top are going to be the same. And if it's a pyramid, it's going to come to a point. But they already told us these are prisms, right? Okay, so we're going to count the sides. This is the base, and there's a top just like it. The sides are rectangles, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know you know 8. Octopus has 8 legs. This is going to be an octagonal. Hardest part is spelling octagonal. Prism. P-R-I-S-M. Some of you had trouble with your homework yesterday because you couldn't spell prism and pyramid. It's usually someplace on the directions or in the title of what you're working on. In this case, we've got prism right there. Notice sides are rectangles. And because there's 8 sides of this, there's going to be 8 rectangles. Bet you didn't know that. All right, let's take a look at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's 5 on either side. So 5 is a pentagon. So I'm going to write the word pentagon, and then I'm going to add the AL on it. Prism. All right, this is another prism. Take a look at the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a hexagon. And you add the AL, and it is a prism. We had one similar to that in yesterday's homework. It was a little shorter and squattier, but it was a hexagonal prism. Okay, so now take a look at number 10. Number 10 is a little bit weird. Okay, look at that. This is the that's the shape of the base and top. And so that's not really a rectangle. It's not a square. It's actually a trapezoid. Remember, a trapezoid has one pair of parallel sides. Those sides are parallel. And one set that's not parallel. So my pen is not working very well here, but hopefully you can see trapezoidal prism. I wonder if I'm wearing out my pen. Number 11. I see a triangle. Triangular. You have to add a U in there. Triangular. And the sides are rectangles. Prism. So again, look for what you have 2 of. We had 2 triangles there. The other sides were rectangles. All right, we're going to stop for a moment, and I want to see if you know the name for number 12, and do not write the word box. All right, the thing that you have 2 of are right here and right here, and those are rectangles. So it's a rectangular. Yep, guys, I think my pen is going. Prism. All right, I'm going to pause for a moment and see if I can figure out this pen. All right, I went back and wrote this in black, but I have a feeling I have worn the tip down on my pen. So until I can get back into school and get a new pen, we're going to have to deal with my sloppy handwriting. This is a rectangular prism. That's how you'd spell that. So it's rectangle normally is GLE, and it becomes rectangular. If you were to write rectangle prism on a worksheet or an assignment or a quiz or test, I would mark it correct. Same with the triangle, because it becomes triangular. If you wrote triangle prism, I would mark that right too. All right, so now we're going to go down to do pyramids. Pyramids, remember, come to a point. And I would like for you to look at this. This is the hardest one, I think, because the base is right here. And it's shaped like a triangle. So it is a triangular pyramid. Pyramid. All right, take a look at number 14. Here's your base. and off of each of those bases is a triangle, and it comes up to a point. I'd like for you to pause and answer the question. So if you put pentagonal pyramid, you would be right. All right, try number 15. Number 15 could have two possible answers. You could either call it a square pyramid, or depending on if you thought that was a rectangle, it could be a rectangular pyramid. But really, a rectangle pyramid does not work out very well. It's usually a square pyramid. So if you're wondering how to draw things like that, draw your square, draw the tip point, and then connect the line from each corner of that square up to the top. Same thing if you're doing a hexagon, or sorry, not hexagon, pentagon. I'm going to put my point up here. It's going to be a short, squatty one. So every point, I just draw the line up to the top. And there you have it, a very sloppy pyramid. All right, so how are pyramids and prisms alike? Well, yesterday on your question, you were asked how those two sides of those shapes were different. Some of you put they're 3D, and that was true. Okay, they're both 3D. They both have a base. They both are named for their base, but they're different in that the pyramid comes to a point, and the prism has a top that's the same as the base. We're going to stop today's lesson there. Just remember that a prism has the same bottom and top. Base and the top are the same. There's two of them. They're named by their base. And a pyramid comes to a point, also named by its base. And today you're going to have some homework. I'd like for you to try the homework 2 times. So if you don't get it right the first time, see if you can get it right the second time. Then tomorrow and Friday, we're going to focus on the faces, the edges, and the vertices of these different figures. And then next week, we're actually going to finish our unit on geometry. We're going to tackle the toughest thing there is in geometry, and that is surface area. Figuring out if you were going to cover one of these up with something, how would you figure out the area? So have that to look forward to. Don't put your calculators away yet. You won't need it for today. You won't need it for tomorrow or Friday. But next week, for sure, you're going to want your calculator. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.